Hello, happy Monday. I hope everyone had an awesome, energetic, lazy, and relaxing weekend. And I hope that you're excited to see some landscapes this week. I will be painting natural landscapes. This is my favorite thing when it comes to painting is a simple landscape, simple composition. Maybe not too exciting at first glance, but these are the things in life where I feel closest to the best feeling I've experienced, like the most elated, tranquil, overwhelming feeling that I've felt in my life has been in places like these, in situations like these. And I think that there is enough to make painting these things worth it. Freshman year of college, I didn't do many of my painting assignments, partly due to laziness, and in larger part due to the insecurity that a young artist feels. But as I started to get over it and started actually looking into what I would be excited to paint about, because when you start out, you might just be painting things that don't necessarily interest you or might not resonate with you, but they look cool or they would be good practice. But usually it takes a while for you to really know what resonates with you and what you want to spend a long time painting, what you want to invest yourself in. So the first time I undertook a painting project that meant anything to me was probably in the spring of my freshman year. And it was a series of small works, probably about the size of this one here. And every now and then, maybe once a month or so, I would take the train back to my house, back to my hometown from New York to visit my family. And I loved the train ride. Sometimes I would be on the train hungover, and in that kind of hazy mindset that you have when you are hungover, appreciating the landscapes and the water, because it's right on the East Coast. The train travels down the East Coast the whole time. You just saw a bunch of water and beautiful landscapes and like some cool abandoned buildings. And so usually I would take pictures just because I had already been used to taking pictures of whatever slightly interests me, on the off chance that it might come up at some point later. So I painted for this project. I think I painted 6 paintings that kinda they were pictures taken out from the window of the train, and they kinda lined up, the horizon lined up across the paintings, so it was kinda meant to feel like a train ride. Though you never saw the train, you would get the impression that you were on a train ride seeing these paintings. And they were just pretty little landscapes and snowy landscapes, because it was the winter that I took the pictures. And that was the first time I went hours without stopping the painting and skipped meals and really reworked stuff and did interesting things with my color palette. Like the first time I didn't use black for my shadows, that I probably never use black for my shadows again. I'll post the paintings on my Instagram so you guys can see. But yeah, I had to use like a beautiful, lovely deep purple orange for the shadows, and it made all the difference. I don't know. It just unlocked everything exciting about painting for me. So here we are again with the landscape, and it's just so exciting for me to try to do something with something so simple and get a lot out of it, to really pull out of it every bit of information that could be interesting or build tension, and the atmosphere, really push the atmosphere. And to get, and I love that it's on a small work. I love doing these as small works, because when you hold it, it seems like a little box with a world inside it, like you're looking into a world, kind of. I don't get that too much from larger pieces. I feel like when people make larger pieces, their intention is for it to like immerse you and to take up the room and fill it with atmosphere. And I tried that out, and I've tried feeling that with other paintings too, and I don't know that I ever really got it. It might be there a little bit, that feeling, but it hasn't felt as neat and as precious to me as it is like feeling like I'm holding a little piece of atmosphere in my hands. And given how meaningful these views and these environments are to me, it feels amazing to be able to hold one, or not hold one necessarily, but like hold a piece of one, like a remnant of one. And it's even more beautiful because it's someone's interpretation of it. And when you see someone's interpretation, like, it's kind of a highlight reel of all that is beautiful about the scene. So the challenges with pieces like these are finding how to... It's really about hue variation and controlling your hues generally, because you don't want to lose the atmosphere, the feeling of atmosphere, and too stark of a hue change will definitely disrupt that. And so what you try, like the green, as you can see on my palette, is a pretty blue green. The green that I ended up putting in for like the lighter spots on the mountainside, on the hillside, is pretty blue, but just because of the relative nature of color, it looks green enough, and someone who hasn't painted before might see it as they probably just put green down, but no, it's a very blue green. So you have these, what get to be these beautiful graphic shapes laid on top of one another. There's kind of like really 3 shapes here, either like 1, 2 or 3 shapes. I'm thinking about the mountain, the water, and the sky, or you could see it as the mountain and the sky. So for the sake of this discussion, let's see it as the mountain and the sky. In the mountain, if you blur your eyes, all the values are pretty near one another. They are, give or take, like 1 or 2 values within each other. Same thing with all the colors in the sky and in the water. It all falls within 1 or 2 values from one another. And that's kind of how you maintain the illusion of depth. That if one color from, let's say, the sky shape, the water shape, were to be dark enough that it looked like it belonged in the mountain color range, that would disrupt the whole value structure, and it would mess up the depth and the distance and everything if it didn't make sense, like if it was just an uneducated decision. So you play with color all within a certain range, and you try to push it, and like each shape is its own little world of color, because that mountain shape could have like red spots in it and green spots and yellow spots, and they would all have to kind of go through the filter of a blue, and you would have to see what yellow looks like in relation to the world of blue that mountain shape is. So it's really fun, because you have to handle all these very subtle changes, and that subtlety can kind of lead to poeticism, and the way that different people handle those subtleties can say a lot. And it's just fun. It's the most fun I have painting. It's the easiest way for me to really use painting as meditation, and it's definitely what I get most excited talking to other artists about, is painting simple landscapes like these and seeing what each one of us sees in it, what each one of us thinks to push in a landscape. And on top of all that, it's just a celebration of nature. And I don't think I could celebrate that enough. I miss being outside right now. I might end up going outside today to the park or something. And yeah, I guess that's it for today. It's gonna be a week of landscapes such as these simple ones. I'm gonna see what I can pull out of them, how far I can push them, how much I can make them my own. And I hope you guys are excited for that. I hope if you're here on this channel, you have a thing for landscapes as well. And if there's anything in particular that you want to see in regards to landscapes in the videos, or any questions that you have, please feel free to leave it in the comments. And I hope you guys have a lovely night and a lovely week. So please have a good night and stay kind.